Hello everyone, and welcome to a brand new video on the channel. Today, we are going to talk about Saudi Arabia's $1 trillion skyscraper. Before we get started with the video, don't forget to smash the like button, share the video, and subscribe to the channel. Now let's get started. The promotional materials are striking. Two mirror-encased skyscrapers reaching more than 100 miles across an expanse of desert and mountain scenery, creating a future home for 9 million people. Is it the pinnacle of high-density living, or merely a fantastical example of science fiction on an epic scale? At a projected cost of up to $1 trillion, or the equivalent of Indonesia's whole annual gross domestic product, Saudi Arabia intends to construct the Mirror Line, which will consist of two parallel towers that will span for 75 miles over various terrains. After obtaining private planning documents, the Wall Street Journal published on Saturday specifics about the project that had previously been classified as confidential. The skyscrapers, each of which is planned to have mirrored sides, will slice through the mountains and the desert, continue all the way to the shore, and then extend into the water. The journal presented illustrative depictions of the project that had been created by artists. According to insiders who are familiar with the project, the site said that the total cost of the endeavor may potentially reach $1 trillion. According to the journal, the complex is designed to provide homes for 5 million people and will also include vertical farming, a sports stadium, and a yacht marina, in addition to a high-speed train that will run underneath the structures. A proposal for a linear community was previously disclosed by Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, who asked officials to develop something on the scale of the pyramids of Egypt. The Mirror Line is a component of the plan for a linear city that was previously announced by Mohammed bin Salman. The construction of Neom, a future megacity development that will be situated on the Red Sea and will be the same size as Massachusetts, has been in the works for years. The journal was able to get blueprints in the past, and those blueprints showed plans for the creation of artificial rain, a fake moon, robotic maids, and hologram teachers. The Kingdom of Saudi Arabia has been mainly blacklisted by the Western world in the aftermath of the murder of journalist Jamal Khashoggi. Saudi Arabia had planned to obtain foreign cash to go towards the development. However, this has not been possible. However, during a meeting earlier this month between President Joe Biden and the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia, Saudi Arabia's status as a pariah state was thrown out the window. To summarize, economists, architects, and analysts are uncertain about the situation. Even those who are working on the project, known as the Line, do not yet know if its scale and scope can ever be realized because it is such an elaborate plan to construct an urban utopia in Saudi Arabia. The project is named after the Line. This week, skeptics and supporters alike were given more insight into the extraordinary ambition of the development, which is the centerpiece of the futuristic Neom site near the Gulf of Aqaba. This was made possible when the kingdom's crown prince, Mohammed bin Salman, outlined central aspects of what he intends to be one of the most ambitious urban developments built in modern times. Despite the fact that architects and economists have questioned its viability, Neom has continuously aroused eyebrows due to the anticipated flourishes such as flying cars and robot maids. The project was first announced in 2017. According to the Saudis, artificial intelligence will play a pivotal role in how people live inside the 500-meter-high and 200-meter-wide tower, which will be car-free and carbon-neutral and will claim near 100% sustainability as well as a temperate and regulated microclimate. Previous environmental commitments made by the kingdom, such as a plan to attain net zero carbon emissions by the year 2060, have been met with skepticism from environmental activists. The formerly monochromatic idea, which even some of the project's planners had trouble visualizing, has been given a splash of color thanks to the multimedia presentations that have been made available. The films have been expertly created, and one of them depicts a megacity that has hanging gardens and partially resembles the Death Star. According to a statement, residents would have all daily needs available within a 5-minute walk, and they will also have access to other benefits, such as outdoor skiing facilities and high-speed rail with an end-to-end transit time of 20 minutes. Despite the fact that Neom will function under its own founding statute, which is currently in the process of being developed, Saudi officials have stated that they have no plans to lift the alcohol ban that is currently in place in the country. His efforts to restructure the kingdom away from an oil-dependent economy and a traditional society, which he believes are ill-suited to propel the country forward, are centered on Prince Mohammed's vision for modern living. Neom was partially designed as a departure from tradition and from the sclerosis of the preceding 40 years, a time period in which leaders doubled down on a strict interpretation of Islam, thereby preserving rigid societal standards. Neom was also conceived as a departure from the sclerosis of the preceding 40 years. On Monday, the de facto monarch of the kingdom declared that the line is the most livable city by far on the globe. He explained that the model he had in mind was intended to serve as an alternative to unrestrained urban development and waste, both of which have contributed to a decline in the citizens' standard of living in urban areas. According to what Prince Mohammed has claimed, the first phase of the project would last until the year 2030 and would cost 1.2 trillion Saudi riyals, which is equivalent to approximately 265 billion pounds. According to him, prospective sources of finance included the private sector in addition to government subsidies, with an initial public offering for Neom scheduled for the year 2024. In private conversations with advisors and planners, he has revealed that one of his goals for the kingdom is for it to achieve the same level of international recognition as other nations in the region. Specifically, he has expressed a desire for Saudi Arabia to construct its own monuments that are analogous to the pyramids. However, due to the extravagant nature of the project and the myriad ways in which it has manifested itself over the course of the last 5 years, a number of analysts are beginning to question whether or not it will ever be implemented. "It's a lot to take on trust," said one expert who works closely with the Saudi government. With little access to the site and only 8 years left before residents are supposed to move in, it's a lot to take on trust. And then there's the inertia in the system. The speaker continues, "It's going to take some effort to get rid of that." Agence France Presse was given the following information by Robert Mogilnicki of the Arab Gulf States Institute in Washington. Since its inception, the idea has undergone such a radical transformation that it can be challenging to identify the path it will take in the future, whether it will become more modest, more ambitious, or take a more forceful turn to the side. Prince Mohammed has expressed his desire for a statewide population boom, which he believes will be essential in order to transform Saudi Arabia into an economic powerhouse. Saudi Arabia is now the largest exporter of crude oil in the world. He stated that this would be the primary objective of the Neom construction project. In order to improve Saudi Arabia's capabilities, the country needs to increase the number of its citizens and the overall population. Furthermore, considering that we are starting from scratch, there is no reason for us to model our city after existing ones. According to him, Neom has the potential to produce up to 380,000 jobs, which is significant in light of the fact that the population is growing rapidly and a significant proportion of young people are actively seeking employment. According to forecasts made by the Saudi government, the population of the kingdom might reach as high as 50 million by the year 2030, with more than half of the population consisting of people from other countries. Saudi Arabia's current population is a little over 35 million. That's a wrap on the video. I hope you liked it. If you did, let me know by giving it a thumbs up, and do not forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching. See you next time.